All right. So we're here at variables 3, and I was thinking about it during the interlude. When is a third sequel better than the first two? And you know where it happens all the time? Technology. Like the third Xbox, right? That's what got me thinking about it. It's better than the first two Xboxes, right? Most of the time. Sometimes there's like a dud system, but like in consoles, in telephones, like cell phones and technology stuff and computers. The third one's always better than the first two. Operating systems for the most part. Uh, you know. There you go. Maybe not movies, but and third seasons of shows. Sometimes they hit their stride in the third season. So yeah, don't go for movies, but maybe sequels in terms of that. Okay. So I'm glad I wasted your time for a little more. Now we're going to talk about updating variables, okay? And what I mean by updating variables is we don't overwrite the variable, okay? So right now our Xbox has 15 in it, right? Um, we don't and we've been overwriting it. We took 0, it had 0, and we overwrote it with the number 15. We took 0 and threw it on the ground, right? It's right there still. And so, uh, what we're going to do is we're going to actually change x based on what's inside of it, all right? And that's called variable updating. And that's a super important concept in computer science, okay? And it's a concept that I think a lot of students didn't get earlier in the semester, and it really irked me because it's one of the foundational concepts of computer science. So let's get into that real quickly, okay? And let's see what that looks like. All right, so as to why we're doing it, I'm going to hold off on that. I'm trying not to do that in a lot of these, but we're going to hold off for like one video, and then we'll go into why we're doing it, okay? It's a good reason. But for now, let's just have a little fun with this abstractly, okay? So right now, we have something like int x equals 50. Okay, so we have our box x with the value 15 in it, okay? And we can do something like x equals x plus 1, okay? What does that mean? And some of you might be like, well, x plus plus, right? That's the shorthand of it. Okay. All x plus plus is x equals x plus 1. I almost want to ban this because students use it and don't understand what they're actually doing. Okay. So x equals x plus 1, right? What does that mean? Well, that says we've talked about left-hand side and right-hand side. So it means that we're putting something in the x box. And what are we putting in the x box? Well, whatever's on the right-hand side, right? Because whatever's on the right-hand side is what we put in the box on the left-hand side. That's how the assignment operator works, okay? What's on the right-hand side is x-dependent, okay? So what's inside the box right now plus 1 is what we're going to put inside the box, okay? But it's no different than if this was just another variable or a number, all right? Don't get thrown off by the fact that you see this x equals x plus 1, and people point out that, like, this would never be a valid math expression or whatever that thing is. But I don't think students actually think about that. I think they just look at this and don't actually reason it out, okay? So always reason it out. Whatever the box is over here is what's going to be overwritten, and it's going to be overwritten with this value, okay? So first, we have to evaluate the right-hand side. Okay, so this happens first, and then we write that into the left-hand side, and this happens second. Okay? First, second. Okay? All right, so now it's pretty easy to see what happens. So no one should ever throw you off with this again, okay? If you see this, what you're going to say is, well, x is 15 right now. Okay, we have to evaluate this first. So x is 15, and 1 is 1, and so that'll equal 16. and we're going to take 16, and we're going to put it in the X box. So we look at what's inside the X box, right? It's the number 15, right? We add 1 to it, okay? And so that changes it to the number 16. I think that's right. Yeah, 16. All right? Carry the 1, 16, right? And then we throw it back in the box, okay? So the previous value of X got 1 added to it, and that became the current value of X. Or another way to say it is the current value of X is the previous value of X plus 1, okay? The current value of X is the previous value of X plus 1, or set X to whatever X is plus 1. All right, to whatever X currently is plus 1, and that'll be the new value of X. Guess that's a better way of saying it. The new value of X is going to be whatever X currently is plus 1, okay? And so after the statement's done, X is going to equal 16. Again, I have not told you why we're doing this or why that's happening, okay? All right, so, well, we're going to do it the same way. X equals X minus 1, X equals X minus 10, X equals X plus 10, X equals X times 5, whatever the case may be. We can update variables based on the previous values of the variable, okay? So let's look at how we can use these tools, these variable tools, to do some cool things in processing now. We now kind of have enough to start doing some real stuff.